I'm just going to go in another direction here for a moment. I appreciate what Paul, and actually Mel's not here, he was the other complainant for basically torture against children. Yeah, it's pending, yeah. Coming through. Okay. Now recently I just won a case in Wellington where a father arrested for non-existent protection orders, and that seems to be the new thing, the new trend. Now I'm just going to highlight two people that are here. They're both people from overseas. Hamza from Israel and Fadl from Iraq. Yes. They just had their children taken off them by Oranga on the grounds that they have handguns. They do other bad things. I know both these guys. They've never done any such thing. Fadl's a aeronautical engineer, brought up in America. You're actually more a Baptist than a Muslim. He had Muslim parents, but he's brought up in America. Yeah, Midwest. Yeah. But they were the ones being abused by their partners in this particular case. But Oranga said that they're too dangerous for standing up for their children. Now, regards to Ben, he was arrested on a non-existent protection order. Serco tried to hide the film footage of him being assaulted in the prison system. He got hit in the head with a pool ball by a murderer, because he got arrested on a non-protection. He was being held in remand. Within an hour, he was just about dead in the prison system. Serco tried to hide the film footage. Fortunately, he phoned me and said to me, "Oh, show me the film footage." And they arrested me on a protection order. And I said, "Well, you don't have a protection order." So what came out of that was a 6-year argument to get the film footage from Serco with the privacy commissioner saying, well, the film footage is his. He's just been awarded the largest ever payout by Serco. But now the next phase is to now ask the police, why are you arresting parents? And it's not necessarily fathers, because there's a lot of women here too who have breached protection orders based on a fallacy. That the police now have to answer, why are they arresting people for non-existent protection orders, and why are they giving out protection orders on fake reasonings? And I'll tell you how the situation came about.
Protection order for whole life.
For whole life, yeah. Because Hamza, we won in the court too. No lawyer would represent him in court, because when he first came to New Zealand, his English wasn't very good. They presented him with a temporary protection order. I argued with the judges that temporary means temporary. The judges agreed, but nobody within the justice system would actually represent him. And the judges agreed, well, you don't understand totally what English is. Temporary means temporary, because Hamza sent an email to his partner saying, listen, you're killing my son's future.
91 days.
Yeah, 91 days, a day after. A temporary becomes a full-time protection order for the rest of your life if you don't challenge it. His wife, he wrote to his wife saying, listen, I want to see my child. His wife changed that email to, I want to kill my son. So naturally the police got upset. Now when we showed that to the judge in the family court system, the judge goes, well, what's the issue? That someone's changing emails and presenting them as evidence. And this is how stupid that the family court system is, that you can present any fraudulent bit of paperwork, but you are the criminal rather than the person that's created fraudulent paperwork. And this is the whole problem with the system, is once they take the children, they will do their darndest to try and protect what they've done. And to give you an example, I'm sitting in the toilets one day, of course, in court. You've got to go to the toilet when you're at court. And I'm listening to the lawyers talking about how to produce fake ex partes, which is the without notice hearings. So they've got a system, because they know when you file for a without notice hearing, so they'll have a hearing where the other partner can't go along. What actually happens is they all get emailed to what they call 3 e-judges. Or the e-judges. Now, if you're an individual and try and file it, because I tried filing, go and saying, well, listen, I've got evidence here, I've got physical evidence of email, they won't. They only listen to when they file these fake protection orders. And I know they're fake because the one in my case, her paperwork, she didn't have a JP sign it, she just filed it all. And when I pointed that out to the judge, listen, the paperwork of the file hasn't even been countersigned by a JP. So you're in a really hard battle when you're dealing with a system that wants to protect its own. And to give you another example, the paperwork that I have shows that the Law Society protects those lawyers, that they will not discipline the lawyers that file fake paperwork. That is how bad the system is now at the moment. So my only advice is you're probably better off representing yourself and finding social justice warriors like these guys to represent you. But using a lawyer, after what I heard in the toilet and how they will file things. Now the reason they were having this conversation just in the toilet, let's go back to this, is when National brought in the new mediation process, the lawyers suddenly realised, oh hang on, we're only charging them as lawyers, but in the court we get the barrister fee, so their rate doubles when they're in court. Now their whole economic model is based on being on a higher rate and being in court. I mean, you get $50 an hour or $100, but actually lawyers, they get $350 and $650. So naturally enough, you're better off getting a higher rate, aren't you? So this is the problem with the whole system, is everything's driven by money, which is what sort of Marius pointed out. This is a multi-million-dollar industry in New Zealand, and in Europe, $1 billion industry. Yeah. So nobody wants to give money up, do they? So this is the whole problem with the system, is everybody's taking a cut. I mean, they try to spend 20 million trying to prove that Paul was not electrocuted, is probably the politest way to put it, as a child. Yeah. And who profited? Lawyers. Sorry? Crown Law. Yeah, Crown Law.
And it's our taxpayer.
They're taxpayers. So they're using our money to fight us. Anyway, but I think Paul and these guys are the heroes for what they've shown, because that's one aspect. But there's so many other atrocities going on. But the volume of it is just horrendous. Thank you.